New on Curiosity Stream.
From time to time, we have collisions between asteroids and the Earth.
We track them, we study them, we hope the big one never comes. Don't look up, it's Asteroid Rush. And alligators. They rarely get sick. They even outlasted the dinosaurs. Could they hold the secret to human longevity?
Their blood could have antibacterial applications.
Wade into the investigation on immortal alligators. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the Men's Room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the Men's Room.
Hello, there we go. Welcome to Season 17, Episode number 3632. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, and Mike Hawk. Montgomery! And you are the Men's Room. I'll tell you today it is a random question. Your guess is as good as mine. Categories: beautiful states and dangerous sports. We will play Profile This. Plus headlines, Men's Room Shout of the Day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite, TV Time with Ted. All right, here we go. Lucky bastard man hits $10 million worth of scratch-offs on one ticket. He's done this for the second time. Meanwhile, a Georgia neighborhood is invaded by a herd of escaped cows. USDA Prime. Florida man gets more than he bargained for after breaking a Busch Light bottle over his head. Amazon now offers 22-piece Pilates set if you like to do Pilates with your partner in your bed. And to Oregon, where a stack of clean towels explodes into flames. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, actor Tom Holland. He is doing quite all right for himself. For the 8th time in the last 2.5 months, a movie starring Tom is number 1 at the box office. Spider-Man No Way Home, that led the box office 6 times throughout December and January, and it's still in the top 3. And for the second week in a row, his latest movie, Uncharted, it's been number 1. Look, in a nutshell, his 2 movies in the last 3 months have grossed almost $900 million in domestic ticket sales. Not only that, but Tom gets to swap the old sex grease with a Zendaya. And just one more thing. He's also in the Guinness Book of World Records for being the youngest actor to play a title role in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, I am sure that his parents are proud, but not nearly as proud as the parents of a 16-year-old Canadian kid who also found his way into the Guinness Book. Now, is he generating hundreds of millions of dollars and swapping gravy with Zendaya? No. But he did spend 1 hour and 12 minutes solving 211 Rubik's Cubes while bouncing on a pogo stick. If you can't be proud of that, I don't know what your kid could possibly do. And when you can solve Rubik's Cubes on a pogo stick, well, that's when we have to quote David Lee Roth, because as he would say, we're getting some leg tonight for sure. That's right, ladies. And dude, this is raining out of the sky. Now, these are just some of the stories we've come across. Stories that left us with many, many questions. Questions we'd like to ask you in the form of a random question. And this is how it works. You call us, we will ask you a question that completes random. And after you share your answer, we will then share with you the news story that inspired said question.
Be part of the big show, the random question. Call 206-421-ROCK. Like the Men's Room on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live. And send those emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Hold the controls, away we go. Welcome to season 17, episode number 3,632 at a large and in charge program this is, or will be. Guaranteed future repeat. That is a fact. Today we're snacking on trail mix through the entire show.
Does that count as trail mix? To me, trail mix is something healthy.
Snack food.
It's got granola and oats and I don't want it. Dried cranberry. This is Reese's peanut butter cups, pretzels, M&Ms.
It's my kind of trail mix.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
going on the trail.
Trail mix mainly just keep you energetic. So I don't know that any of them are super healthy.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see if it keeps my
But we are doing no hiking.
No,
Now.
we're just going to
eating one that's mostly chocolate and peanut butter.
Just jacked up on sugar all day long.
Yeah, exactly.
What a large and in charge program we've got for you today. The exciting return of your guess is as good as mine. The categories today will be the 10 most beautiful states in the United States of America.
Are they talking about the landscape or the people that live there?
They are basically, they are talking about the natural beauty. And for the most part, should not be too shocking, most of the states are on the West Coast.
Well, sure.
And to give you an idea, the bottom 5 states in the United States, thank God West Virginia's not on here, because they do have some natural beauty.
But that was my point, because if you're asking people or natural beauty, West Virginia is naturally beautiful until you see the people.
So in last place is Kansas, because they say flat states, they don't do well in general. They basically said Kansas is flat and boring to drive through. So that's why.
That is true. That
Rest
is very
of the bottom
true.
5, Indiana, Illinois, Iowa, and Oklahoma. So just know, it takes some mountains, it takes some natural beauty to make things...
Oklahoma's just ugly.
Make this list.
I mean, Kansas is flat, but it's not ugly, it's boring. Oklahoma somehow is reasonably flat, but they said, you know what? We're going to add just a touch of ugly that Kansas didn't bother with.
Yeah. So this is pound for pound, the most beautiful states in the United States of America. What else have we got here? The other category is the most dangerous sports. So if you're going to get hurt or maybe die, these are the 10 sports that cause the most injuries and cause the most deaths, if you can believe that as well. So those are your 2 categories coming up with your guess is as good as mine. Very exciting today, by the way. All this week, we have a chance for you to win tickets to Def Leppard and Motley Crue.
Oh.
Now, what they've instructed us to do. Joan Jett's opening up that show.
Nice.
A second. Is give you a secret word, a code word, right? Mm-hmm. And then you go to the contest page at KISW.com, and they said pick a random time, and then we'll give you the code word at the time. Now, look, I have to be honest with you. We're going to do 4:20 as the time. But I just want you to know that if we had anything to do with this, all right, the code words would be a little bit different than what they are. Now, these are not the code words, but I was thinking maybe buffet or fries or something like that.
I think there should be a different code word. Look, it's one ticket.
It's Motley Crue.
Right.
It's Vince Neil.
But it depends who it is you want to see, right? So
pizza.
You might be going there because you want to see Def Leppard. Mm-hmm. In which case you go the code word is 9 arms, right? Whatever, right? Still win the same tickets. Okay. We just know which band you want to see, right? Buffet, if it's Motley Crue, or just old school cool Joan Jett. Mm-hmm. So
we'll give you that code word. Then you go to KISW.com and a chance to win tickets to see Def Leppard, Motley Crue, and Joan Jett and the Blackhearts.
I just said that.
That's going to be a great show, man. And talk about personality. You want to talk about hiya, good times. Also today, we head on over to the Odyssey app for the Men's Room Happy Hour, exclusively on the Odyssey app. What you want to do is download that bad boy. It's free, and then you'll search for the Men's Room Happy Hour. That channel only goes live at 6 o'clock Monday through Friday. So if you check out that channel now, not going to be really anything on there, but we will go live on the Odyssey app coming up at 6 o'clock for the Men's Room Happy Hour and find out how everybody's couple days off went there. So in the meantime, it is our random question, 206-421-ROCK.
Random.
Hello,
random,
Danny.
Random,
welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
Danny, welcome to the program. Random question. Okay. Here's an interesting one. I'll just go with this. How much money would it take to have us watch you have sex?
You guys do that for free if you wanted to.
So you wouldn't care if all 4 of us were sitting in your bedroom watching you have sex?
It'd be a little weird, but I mean, I wouldn't feel right charging you for it. You're not prostitutes.
Well, no, maybe that's
Or I'm not.
Yeah, maybe. What if we were rating your performance? Would that be okay?
I don't know. Well, I mean, I haven't gotten too many bad reviews from the women I've been with, so I don't know what you guys are going to say to me that they already haven't. So.
Okay, all right.
Probably just technique from the outside.
Yeah.
You know, they have a different
you might help
insight.
me out.
Well, like your facial expressions, maybe the sounds you're making.
Is he going to sneeze or have an orgasm?
You know
what is that face?
Yeah, are you moaning real low? Is it high?
Oh, you're gonna try to mess with. You're gonna try to throw me off.
No. We are not trying to throw you off. It's more like Mystery Science Theater 3000 or My Family in Texas. We're simply commenting on what we see at the time.
But what I'm going to do is I'm going to stare deep into your eyes, and every time you look over, I'm going to be making eye contact with you. It's just to see how you're doing there.
I'm having snacks.
You're having snacks?
I am.
Popcorn?
Go chicken wings.
Popcorn seems ridiculous. Right, it's got to be something where you're just like, is he really just eating that right now?
I'm eating chili.
I'm having mini corn dogs.
Mini corn dog, and we're bringing in the little mini cooker.
That's what she's having, too.
Yeah, mini corn dog.
Mini corn dog.
Well, Danny, I appreciate you not charging us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, you got any mustard?
Danny, real quick, man, where do you keep your condiments?
I don't think I could perform.
I mean, it depends who's
I really
watching.
don't. I think I'd be like, yeah, I mean, I know you guys.
I mean, if it's you guys, like, you got to go. Ted, stop eating the goddamn corn dog.
Or ribs.
Riblets.
Because you know you would want
you having riblets.
The only thing you'd think of the entire time you're having sex is the ribs. You know?
Just ignore the ribs. I know it smells good.
Yeah. The reason we asked how much money would it take you to have someone watch you have sex. We all know Simon Cowell. He often gets stopped on the street and asked to judge things based on his.
Oh yeah, he's kind of famous for being a judge.
Mm-hmm. And for years, he has been telling the story about a couple once offered him $150,000 to watch them have sex and then give them his take on their performance. He turned them down, by the way.
But he used to work in the music industry. There's a reason he judges musical talent.
Well, some random person.
Now
said, hey.
he judges talent, right? America's got talent. So now, whether you sing, dance, a magician, penis puppet, it doesn't matter. He's still there to judge. If I'm Simon Cowell, right, I'm annoyed that every time I go somewhere, people want me to judge everything. The flip side is, if someone says, $150,000 to watch me have sex, like, in.
I mean, look, if he was judging your chili cook-off, you'd be pretty excited. Now,
right.
does he know anything about chili?
Probably not.
But all he's going to do is say, this is the chili that I like the most.
That's it.
So that's, I mean, basically like anything else. But he did say he was on Seth Meyers the other night. And he said he regretted the decision of turning him down, and he invited the couple to hit him up. He said, quote, if you're watching, I'll do it. I'll watch you have sex for $150,000.
What do you think the change of tune was for him? You know, for us, it's like $150,000 is a lot of money. For him, he made that in the amount of time it takes us to say his name.
I think based on the fact that probably enough people after they heard the story went, you're an idiot, dude. You could have just made $150,000 for doing absolutely. I know he's worth millions and millions and millions.
Right, but it's
dollars.
easy money.
Even if you just took that money and gave it to charity in his position. You know what I mean? Whatever you wanted to do. All you got to do is sit there and watch people have sex.
Okay, let me ask you this. And I know you don't necessarily know tax law or anything, but I am in the couple that's having sex. Mm-hmm. I give Simon Cowell $150,000. He gives all that money to charity. Do I get to write that off as well? So in other words, like, I know I gave the money to Simon Cowell, but I knew he was going to give money to Coach.
I don't know how that works. Yeah, I don't know how that works.
Look, can I put that?
I think not, because you're paying him for the service.
But what if he announced it in advance? Well, think about it like this. When we do the Coach for Kids thing, right? Mm-hmm. People go through our website and they do the thing, but in the end, I want the person who gave the money gets the credit, right?
Right.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Because we just did our taxes. And not that this was an issue, but say in the next 10 months, this comes to pass and I pay someone $150,000. I'd have to ask my tax guy, like, hey, as far as write-offs go, we invited this guy to watch me have sex. And I gave him $150,000. And I knew he was going to give it to charity. Do I get to write some of that off?
I don't think so, because you're the one, basically.
Like, I didn't give it to a charity.
For an example, like church tidings, right? Okay, you can give the money to the church. Mm-hmm. I don't know that you can write it off, but it's tax-free for them.
Sure.
Right, they don't pay taxes.
They don't pay taxes.
But what if I know that if Simon says, look, I'm only doing this because I'm giving the money to Pause, right? Mm-hmm. And I go, okay, I agree to this. I feel like somehow you should be able to write off a percent of that.
If you're going to give the money to Pause, you might as well bring your dog with you in the bedroom while they have sex, and the dog can watch too.
I just wonder how that works. like, I did not give it to Paws. I gave it to Simon Cowell, but Simon Cowell made it clear that I'm doing this to give the money to the charity. Do we both benefit from this?
I don't know.
I think it makes a tax person uncomfortable, but I feel like it's a worthy question. Like, hey, that's $150,000, bro.
Sure. And you're used to your dog watching you have sex. If you have a dog. I mean, that's just kind of part of the program. They really, really enjoy watching humans have sex.
Yeah, my dog stares us down.
Like in an angry way?
Kick him out. It's
Not an angry way, just like, I don't know what you're doing, but I like to be part of the family, and I've made it very clear that
you look like
you
you're
are
wrestling.
not part of this.
You look like you're wrestling, and maybe I'd like to wrestle too. It looks like you're playing, probably. Well, you are. But for the dog, that's what they get fired up about.
Oh, somebody here says, Thrill, that would not be a write-off since it's essentially paying for a service. So the person who writes the check to the charity gets the deduction.
Right.
I don't get any money.
So, but if you could just go direct and say, hey.
If I could go direct.
So Simon says, hey, you just make that check for $150 to the charity. And that'll be my way of taking care of that. You know what I mean? So,
but then he's not invited into the room. See, this is the problem.
Yeah,
like, I'm not going to have sex or give you to give Paul $150,000 just so you can watch me have sex. I want to give the money to you because I feel like I paid you, but hook me up with this somehow.
I know it would be very disturbing for whoever had to watch me. Just like facial expression. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's just something. It would be weird.
That's why even like sex with a mirror. You realize if you catch yourself off guard looking in the mirror, you're like, do I look like that all the time?
Yeah, exactly.
Are you okay having sex with me? If that's what my face looks like. Like, I don't want to know what my face looks like.
Well, that's the old trick, too, if you're trying to cut down maybe on self-love. Stare at yourself in the mirror.
While masturbating?
See if you keep going.
There's no way. I can't imagine.
I've never done that.
Sitting in a chair with a full-length mirror, going to town, and just staring at myself like, yeah, monkey, get it.
Please.
I just...
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's a shortcut to not sit in.
You know what? I'm going to have to try that. What are you doing in the bathroom? I'm masturbating in the mirror just to see how long I can do it. Stop bugging me. I'm ignoring the cat's paw under the door. Hello, Jim. Welcome to the men's room. Yeah. Hello, Jim.
Hola. Jim, welcome to the program. And random question. Let's go with this one.
All right.
What would you say is the dumbest reason that you've almost gotten into a fight or an argument? What was the dumbest reason?
The dumbest reason? I don't know. Maybe I was at a bar one time and told one of my best friends that his wife was a slut, and he picked me up and threw me on the concrete.
Okay, well, I don't know how stupid that is because I think a lot of guys might react that way if that's your opening comment. Was there a reason you said it, or do you just not like her?
Oh, yeah, because she was a slut. And she was sleeping with a couple other guys and going to motels and whatnot, and I just thought he needed to know, and apparently that was not the right time to let him know.
Or is it?
Let me ask you a question.
Was it you letting him know, or was it your choice of words?
Right, you're calling her a
Sometimes
slut.
you try to be a little more.
Your girlfriend's a
Yeah,
slut. Or did you
kind of a little bit of both.
All right. Okay, so that makes sense. That'd be the tact of how you explain this.
Right.
This is one of those.
It wasn't very tactful, but he needed to know.
Well, he didn't need to know, but the tact of how you tell him is one thing. Like, we need to talk. You need to sit down for a minute.
What you have to do is wait for him to say.
It's the same girl.
Once again, bedroom colors, here are the 7 words you can't say on the radio.
Oh, my God. Wish I'd met her.
Sucker, mother.
Just giving them out.
I mean,
Please keep those words in
Can
mind.
she write that off?
You get one. You get one.
Well, what? I'll take one.
Would you take that out of the car?
if she's giving out. Ooh.
Because you got to pay taxes on the car.
So we up the ante on Price is Right, all right, Mike?
We do.
You just want a new car, but Drew Carey says, hey, here's what celebrity do you find super hot?
Ooh, I'd probably go Anna Kendrick.
Okay, so Anna Kendrick's offering you a mouth hug, or you win this new car. And here's the thing, right? The car will last longer, but to Miles' point, you got to pay California sales tax on that. So that's a couple $1,000. Or
are you happy with your car and you just want to take the experience?
That's exactly it, man. I'm happy with the car.
Would you take
I got.
the mouth hug?
You damn Skippy, I would.
Damn Skippy.
You know how much money?
Yeah.
You know how much money Price is Right could save on that?
Seriously.
Sure.
You've won a new mouth hug. Yay!
All right. From Barry.
Oh, no.
I didn't tell you that, didn't I? Hey.
Ooh, let's make a deal, all right? You drill a hole in the door. you pick the door you want, and then we'll open the door. Right, look,
He got the zonk.
you're gonna get hooked up one way or another.
Yep.
All right. So the feeling's going to be great. You're going to enjoy the experience. You just don't know who's on the other side. Then at the end of the show,
they open up the door and you're saying, "It's Ray Lewis."
Right. I believe you are not getting enough protein in your diet.
Take a picture of yourself.
How many blueberries do you eat in one sitting?
The thing order has been disturbed.
Have you heard of pineapple?
It's time to take off the leash.
You're going to be on the show, eat more fruit.
Raise my ass, what's the dumbest reason you've almost gotten into a fighter argument? We got a 42-year-old man in Boston named Hector Avedo. He stabbed another man because he would not flush the toilet. Oh. It happened at the Back Bay Transit Station on Sunday. Mm-hmm. Two men were in adjacent stalls when the victim was about to leave. Well, Hector hollered that he needed to flush the toilet, but the other guy apparently refused and told him to mind his own business. So they got into a bit of an argument through the stalls, and it got physical, which ended in Hector stabbing the other guy in the hand. Hector ran off, but he was later caught and arrested. He still had a knife on him, and the victim was treated for a stab wound, but it sounds like he'll be fine. So.
You think it was a poop knife?
Oh, man. Yeah. I'm taking the first one.
We should keep that story so I can show my daughter. Like, baby, listen. I've tried for years to get you to flush the toilet. I don't know what it is. I don't know why you're like 50-50 on this. It's like most people do it. I flushed the toilet just because I was in the bathroom. You know what I mean? Like, right. I did not use the toilet. You
well, it's only on number 2, isn't it?
But it's, yes.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the only time I see it. Right. So I'm going to show her that story. Like, babe, look, when you become an adult, you forget to flush the toilet, you might get stabbed. All right, this is what happened.
I wonder just what...
Because they didn't flush the toilet.
I just don't... I mean, it would be weird if someone gets up. It depends on the flushing unit on some of those things. Like some of the sensors. So you can't, it doesn't really
You're
flush
like already at the stall
until
door.
You walk out of the stall. Like it won't even trigger it because it still knows there's a body there.
Sure.
So when you leave, it kind of goes, but if you don't know the right area to manually push the button to flush the toilet. But that problem, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like
but would you comment on it?
If I drop a deuce, I can't figure out how to flush it. I walk out, it still doesn't flush. Like, I'm going back in there and figuring out.
Yeah, me too.
But how much time would you give? Because at some point, look, Miles and I were sharing a room with the Sheridan in Denver, right? I take a dump at like 3 in the morning, and I cannot find how you flush the toilet. And I mean, I'm looking all over the bathroom. I don't know how to flush the toilet. So we get up the next morning. I'm like, hey, bro, you need to know this. Before you walk into that bathroom, it looks like, Cocoa Puffs have been in the milk too long. I poop. It's like, why didn't you flush? I'm like, I don't know how to flush the freaking toilet.
So I get up and I'm out. And I look
3 a.m. heater.
And I look
sure you get
dude, it was bad.
Picture how bad that
was.
It was exactly.
And I
what
looked out
think.
the windows and there's like this skyline of this city. And he's in there like, trying to figure out how to flush a toilet. And I'm like, is this a dream? Like, where are we? I could not figure out what city we were in, why we were there, because I was still half out of it, because I, just probably went to bed like an hour and a half before that.
Yeah.
So I'm standing at the window looking out like, I do not recognize this place. I have no idea where I do not know what town I'm in. I do not know what city I'm in. Like, this is just freaking me out. More of the random question coming up, 206-421-ROCK.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Random question, 206-421-ROCK.
By the way, Ted, someone has a response. For some reason, they single me out, but it says, hey, Thrill, I've tried masturbating in front of the mirror. I hate seeing myself, so I just hide most of my body in the mirror. Why don't you just stop masturbating in the mirror?
I don't do it.
I know you don't do it. I'm saying this guy.
Oh.
I'm still, you know what? I can't masturbate standing up. Like I don't
prefer to, but I've done it.
It's been a long, maybe once.
But it's like, because it's in a
shower, maybe.
Serious?
Yes.
All right.
I know that sounds crazy. If it's normal for you to masturbate standing up, I am the one that's not normal. I just don't masturbate standing up.
I don't think that it's normal. I don't think it's abnormal. I don't think it's normal. I don't normally do it, but...
I know you can have sex.
If it's lightning in the bottle, then yeah. You're taking a shower, and you're just like...
Right.
Hey, fella.
Yeah.
I get it.
Exactly.
But generally, if I'm going to do that, I am seated or I'm laying down, but I'm not, one foot up on the bed. And,
yeah, sometimes, I don't know. You're just,
in a pinch.
It's right.
Walking around the
Sometimes
kitchen.
you have time to take your time and sit down and enjoy it.
Well, I was going to say, like, if I know I don't have a lot of time, I feel like standing up leads to the sense of urgency.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got 3 minutes for the grandparents show up, but if I got time, like, I'm sitting down, man. Like, put my feet up.
I'm going to relax.
Have a beer in the cooler.
I'm not in a hurry. I'm not leaving. Not walking out or anything.
Random.
Hello, Zach. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Zach, welcome to the program. And the random question. I think you can do this one, Zach. What would you be willing to do right now for $6,500 in cash?
Oh, God, I do a lot.
Okay.
$6,500?
Yep. Would you French kiss your best friend for 60 seconds?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. What else would you be willing to do for $6,500 in cash?
Easy money. God, there's a lot of things I do for $6,500.
Would you punch your own mother in the jaw?
That I couldn't do.
Yeah, I could.
All right. Okay. How about your brother or siblings?
Yeah, I could do a brother.
Okay.
Yeah, that's easy. Like, hey, man, sorry, but,
Yeah.
Well, $6,500 in cash. That's a pretty good chunk of
I
change.
hate to do this, but $6,500.
Say that again. And his phone's breaking up.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great. It would depend on what the challenge was.
For sure.
But $6,500. Like
in cash.
If someone
right?
said, like, even if it was just like, run a marathon, I'd be like,
I'd give it a
The
try.
problem is you got to train for like 3 or 4 months to get to the point.
Do I have to compete in it, or
You
do
know
I
you
have to
complete
another
it.
complete?
You complete it. Just
Then I would
complete
do
it.
that. I
For
wouldn't put any training.
$6,500.
Like, look, I'll probably run the first 2 miles. God knows I'm walking.
I don't think you can do
the
it.
majority of it.
I mean, it's still
I mean,
a
if
lot.
it's a choice between I have to finish a marathon for that much money or make out with my buddy, I'm making out with my buddy.
You're making out with your buddy for 60 seconds.
Which buddy are you picking?
Well, depends. We going for looks, comfort,
I don't know. Who
intensity?
Who do you think will be
Who do you think would
the
be
most accommodating? Like, dude, look, it's for $6,500, man. I need the money. Just kiss me. Like, who do you think would be like, all right, Ted?
Maybe someone who kisses with, passion?
I can
Soft
only
lips.
assume when I look at my boys, like, I bet he puts in the effort.
Puts one hand on each cheek.
I'm just saying, I don't think I can.
Right, yeah.
Like,
Get a hold of the face.
Finishing a marathon, and don't they have? You got to be done by a certain time, or they'll just stop it, right? And be like, you can't walk.
Well,
it.
then there are people who do walk. Yeah,
well, I could walk one.
That's what I'm saying. Right. Like, I know I'm not going to put it this way. I don't want to put in training to do the marathon, but I would rather waste my entire day covering 26.2 miles than make up
you
my
just got to
buddy
realize how
for a
long it's
minute.
going to take, because if you're running let's say you walk a 15-minute mile, which is probably about average, but that's still a pretty good clip to keep. So basically, every hour, you're only going for 4 miles. And you're trying to do 26. So when you think about the time
I'm
involved,
giving them a day.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying, man.
It's an all-day affair.
It's about 7 hours.
Cross that line.
But after 7 hours, I got $6,500. And I don't feel weird. I can look my buddies in the eye.
Okay, all right. Yeah, well, you'd be miserable for a couple days, but it wouldn't be the worst thing.
I'll take it.
Reason asked, what would you be willing to do for $6,500? A dog food company is running a promotion where they will pay you more than $6,500 to switch your dog's food to theirs for 2 months.
Get done.
Yeah. There is one massive catch. During these 2 months, you also have to collect your dog's poop, analyze it, smell it, and keep a diary on how it may change day by day, especially in regards to how it smells. That's the most important thing.
What is their goal? That it stinks less, or?
It's a plant-based company called Omni, and they're looking to prove that their dog food has a positive effect on your dog's digestion, stool odor, and general health. So they want to see your comprehensive, no pun intended, logs on your dog's poop. Tragically, though, the exciting opportunity is not available in the United States. Omni is based in England, and while they don't specifically exclude the U.S., they don't normally ship their dog food here. So it doesn't sound like Americans could be willing to do that.
I'll be honest with you. I don't care what my dog's poop smells like. Because when the dog poop, it goes into a bag, and there's that moment where you get that big poof.
Yep.
And it sucks.
Yeah, that does.
But overwhelmingly, it's not something that's in the house. I don't want to analyze my dog's poop, but if it had an impact on the farts. Farts, you have to deal with the poop, right? Poop goes in the bag goes in the trash, done. The farts, they linger, they happen often, and some nights are worse than others. I don't know why.
Right.
They can't let go, and because there's no such thing as a dog fart that does not smell offensive. And it's amazing to me because it doesn't matter whose dog it is.
Yeah, but you don't know when they fart if you can't smell it. So it's not.
But I don't think I know what you're saying, but I am convinced my dog has never farted and I didn't smell it. You're right; they might fart 100 times a day.
You
only
just
smell
50% of them. You know,
but still, man, you
can't smell it. You can't smell it.
That's the thing about farts. If it doesn't smell, nobody really cares.
Well, you don't have to say anything.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that you didn't fart.
Right.
Like he just farted. It doesn't smell. So
it doesn't smell to you.
Yeah,
it has stayed here, but I'm telling you.
Oh. It sounded stinky.
It is. It delivered on the sound promise. It's just not going anywhere, but it smells. Hello, Alex. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Hola.
Alex, doing well. Thank you. Welcome to the program. Random question. All right, let's see.
Real quick.
What's that?
I'm sorry about your Seattle Kraken last night.
Hey.
Well, who is your team?
The San Jose Sharks. I work for them.
Oh, all right.
Oh, okay.
That's cool.
I don't hate San Jose. The Kraken are not very good, so you don't have to apologize. We've accepted they're just not good. They're an expansion team. Sounders lost. Great day to be a sports fan in Seattle.
Yeah.
Hey, but some of the best news, Mike. The Mariners, they might not lose because they might not play.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
I say that because the Kraken, the last 2 games they played the Sharks, kicked our ass.
Really?
Woo.
How long ago was this? I'm not even saying that to be funny. I don't remember.
Didn't they lose to the Sharks last week?
Don't know. I don't have the schedule in front of me.
Okay.
But you work for the team.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. Well, way to pay attention. Okay, let's go with this question here. Whose music catalog would you want to own, either because you like the artist or the money that you would be able to get out of it?
Music catalog. Would Sweetwater be an answer?
Sweetwater as far as the band?
You say, I mean like the music catalog.
Yeah, so like a band or artist, so their entire history of music.
Yeah.
Like I don't really listen to a lot of Taylor Swift, but I'd like to own her catalog because the music's so popular, I'd make a lot of money.
Yes, you would.
I mean, I have a lot of old Beatles vinyls.
All right, well that would be a very
good
profitable,
pick.
Yeah. Okay.
Who just bought the Beatles? Was it
somebody bought it off of the Jackson estate? I believe.
Oh God, that's right. I forgot. Michael Jackson bought it off. So the Beatles owned it.
Well, Paul McCartney basically was talking to Michael Jackson. He said, "Hey, man, we're going to buy our catalog because we have this opportunity." And so Michael Jackson, once he found this out, basically went in and offered multiple $1 million more. And he bought it out from under him.
Well, the worst part was, according to Paul McCartney, because he and Michael Jackson were friends up until then, this kind of drive the wedge in it, but he had said, hey, we're going to buy our catalog. Michael Jackson told him at the time, but Paul McCartney thought he was joking. He said, oh, I'm going to buy that. Right, and Paul's like, ha, ha, ha. And then he gets word like, no, seriously, Michael Jackson actually bought it.
I think Stevie Wonder would be good from the
Now, 70s. Is this for money or is this for... Because like Stevie Wonder...
I think it'd be very marketable. So, I mean, I think you can make some money off the catalog. Not only that, but artistically, it's you know...
Like, I would love it for me. And yeah, you make a lot of money on Superstition. Without a doubt. Right? That seems to be the main one.
Sir Duke, probably.
I think Ted's right. As far as money goes... Taylor Swift. I do not enjoy her music, but I would make bank off her. I just wouldn't want to listen to it.
Right. One you could listen to and make money would be Metallica.
Oh, God. That's a home run. Led Zeppelin's a home run. AC/DC's a home run.
Pink Floyd, for sure. Rolling Stones probably would be one that you could never go wrong with.
I'll tell you, I'll give you the ultimate one, and it's just one song. All right. And I hate it. It's that Mariah Carey Christmas song, but I'd own it.
You know what, dude? You're right. You don't even need the rest of her catalog. Just give me the song.
Oh, it's almost November. I'll get paid again.
A lot.
Yeah. Well, the reason we asked whose music catalog would you want to own, either because you like the artist and money. Universal has picked up another huge music catalog. They have officially bought the rights to Neil Diamond's song collection, which includes Sweet Caroline, which is a big one. They've been on somewhat of a shopping spree. They first scooped up the rights to Bob Dylan's lyrics and compositions, then Sting's solo catalog. Now Neil Diamond's entire song catalog, in addition to his recordings. It's not clear how much the deal was for, but they're assuming that it's going to be substantial. He is 81 years old. He hasn't performed in a few years due to poor health. But you got to remember, not only does he have Sweet Caroline, he's got...
They're coming to America.
You Don't Bring Me Flowers. A Girl, You'll Be a Woman Soon, which you probably know more from
Urge
Overkill's version on Pulp Fiction. Red Wine.
That's right, before it got covered.
That's exactly it. Well, red wine. Dylan sold his between $300 and $400 million. But you got to remember, when you buy Neil Diamond's songs, it's not just the ones that he performed. So Red Wine from UB40, you get the proceeds.
I'd be 53 now, but thank you.
I'm a believer. From the Monkees.
I'm a believer.
Smash Mouth, I guess.
Smash Mouth, right? Because then, right, they did it for Shrek.
Correct.
Was that okay?
Correct.
Yeah.
So there's a lot in there. Yeah.
I didn't really think about that. The writing rights.
See, that's huge because someone like Neil Diamond has written probably as many songs for other artists who blew up the song he wrote than as hits that he has for himself.
Right.
So I think when you buy his catalog, you might be shocked. Like, I did not realize you wrote this, that, and the other. By the way, some other people they came in. They said Prince. If you're going to buy a music catalog, they say, look, good music and good money.
I believe that, yeah.
I feel like Let's Go Crazy would be your moneymaker in that because they can use that in any commercial, movie, blah, blah, blah.
He sold like a piece of pie. The estate sold a sliver of his collection. Right. This amount of time to that amount of time. And I know that just went on the blog. That just got sold like a couple weeks ago. But that was supposed to be maybe $100 million deal.
Somebody here, Ted, they track with you. They say, I'm just buying the Mariah Carey Christmas album. Nothing else.
Yeah.
Just give me the. Van Halen says, I'll make a big box set with all the albums remastered, studio outtakes, and demos. Charge $550. See the 5150 there.
Oh.
And people would buy, you know what? I'd probably give you my money for that. Someone else says, I'd buy a music catalog. I would buy Nancy and Ann Wilson's Heart catalog. I bet you would make more money on that than you think because a lot of those songs can be used for so many TV commercials, movies, etc. And then this one, it says, what about the rights to the Hungry Food Band catalog? It is funny you bring this up, all right? So we reached out to the brains, if you want to call it that, behind this operation.
Green beans.
And this dude, he has a bunch of different bands. They're all roughly in the same vein. So we tracked this guy down. Thank you to the astute listener who figured out who he was. Reached out to him, and we actually inquired about buying the rights.
Just so we could have them.
To the Green Beans song. And we're not making this probably about a month ago that we were going through this. So he kind of responds back. He's like, what exactly is the intent? That he just seemed very confused. You know what I mean? He literally has probably 400 songs. Again, they're of this caliber. So I explained what we've been doing with it. Said, hey, man, it is what it is, but it's kind of snowballed to this thing. Anyway, we were inquiring about what it would take to buy the rights. His response, he said, look, it's not really for sale, but I'll tell you what. This is my permission to you. Use it as much as you want. Yeah, he was like... Seriously, he got back to me within 20 minutes, sent an email. We corresponded for about an hour and a half, and then the end,
we just thought it'd be cool to own a song.
Yeah, we were like, this would be the song, right? No, in Seattle, we got to think we're probably most people's connection to this tune. But he was very happy, flattered, excited, and somewhat confused that we used the song for anything. And I told him, I said, look, we discovered your song because we were trying to come up with 10 Thanksgiving songs about Thanksgiving side dishes. And I told him it's a much harder thing than you would think. We stumbled on green beans, wanted to use it. So we have his absolute blessing to use it. But hey, his music's not for sale, Miles.
Yeah. He's an artist.
He's not partnered with Green Beans, brother.
No, man.
Yeah. Okay, just so you know, if you're listening, all I did was click on the guy's phone call. He was making that noise on his own.
He's enjoying it.
So I don't know what we're getting into here. That's just a warning to the listener. Hello, Don. Welcome to the men's room.
Good morning.
Hola. Don, how you doing, man? Welcome to Random Question. Yeah, hola to you, Don. All right.
Pardon?
I said hola to you, Don. Let's see here. What do we got for you? All right, let's go with this one, Don. Have you ever called 911 for any reason?
Oh, my, what?
Have you ever called 911 in the event of an emergency?
My 3-year-old daughter did.
She did. Did she? I guess she did that on accident.
Yeah. I believe it was. She's only 3 years old, but... All right. Yeah, and then I grabbed the phone from her. I didn't realize she did it, and then I hung it up, and then they called me right back. Says, is there emergency here? And I'm like, nope.
So,
it's my 3-year-old daughter.
How old is your daughter now?
24, actually 25.
Are they still obligated to come and check out the situation since you called 911? I mean, are they still required to show up?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I had somebody show up. Oh, boy, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I've never called 911, and that's
I've done it by accident. One of those things you sit on your phone and whatever button you hit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but he's right. Like, even when you say, hey, man, there's no emergency, they still send them out to make sure. Because that's what you would say, obviously, if someone's holding a gun to your head, right?
Right.
So the cops show up, and there you are. You apologize for sitting on your phone or whatever, and then they go away. And you may or may not get charged.
reason we asked if you ever called 911, I hope they release the 911 audio from this because I bet it's pretty entertaining. Someone in Altoona, Pennsylvania, was at the car wash this month. It's one of those coin-operated kind where you get out and you wash your own car.
Yeah.
And while they were there, some guy snuck around and hopped in the driver's seat of their truck and tried to steal it while they were washing the car. So once they went around the other side doing their thing,
right.
They popped in. Well, some guy hopped in the driver's seat, tries to steal it. His name is Jason Almeida. He's 25 years old. He hopped in while they weren't looking, tried to drive off. But they heard the engine start, ran to the passenger side door, and yanked Jason out. And here's where we wish there was audio. The owner of the truck actually held Jason down and forced him to call 911 on himself. Cops showed up and arrested him. He's due in court next week for theft charges. So you'd have to think whoever owned that truck, he pretty well whooped his ass and took care of him.
But you know how that went. You can call 911 to help you, or you can not call and I beat your ass to death.
Exactly.
911.
That's exactly what happened. More of the random question coming up, 206-421-ROCK.